Ladies and gentlemen, and esteemed participants and distinguished guests, it is with great pleasure that we are here with yet another webinar with Bimal sir. And before I start with our nomenclature, I just request if we can have a hand wave or a high five kind of a emoticon so that I can see that people are listening to us. We have got few. So again, Bimal sir is requiring no introduction, but I would love to do that as we all know that he is a renowned chartered accountant professional with having 18 years of working experience across various corporates, starting from an LG or a Honda, Hindustan Development Corp, etc. And then finally he started with his own firm A to Z Corp, where he's the director. And it's a very sweet anecdote with which he started, and with the help of his partner, his wife also, that how they kind of build that, but that's a story for some other day. But I just wanted to share this particular highlight because we had a GST Chronicle chapter with sir where we got to know about how both of them became into this particular partnership and started this sweet business of his. And also his chartered accountancy career is spanning over 21 years. On top of that, he has an LLB pass out, he's a lawyer as well. And again, we are very proud of his achievements because he has broken a world record of Japan. So as an Indian, when someone is breaking the record of such particular great country, it's a pride for it's a matter of pride for all of us, right? So this is the stature of this great personality. And even then, if you ask and talk to him, you'll feel that he's always eager to learn. If you're talking to him about something, he'll listen to you with such patience and humility that you feel like talking more and more to him. This is what we find in our GST Chronicles episode that we have with him, where even though we are sticking to 45 minutes, but it stretches to 2 to 3 hours. With this time around, people were falling at his feet. They were bowing down to his knowledge, and yet he was humble and smiling, and he's like, no, 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 please don't do this. So such is the great stature of this amazing personality that we have with us. And not only this, he has numerous awards from Amity School, Noida, then Best Speaker Award from NIRC, ICAI, ICWAI Young Achievement Award at Igniting Minds 2015, and also a participating award in NSOP 117th batch by the ICSI. So as we gather here today for this enlightening webinar, we are privileged to have CA Bimal sir with us. And so without further ado, let us warmly welcome CA Bimal Jain sir. And I'll just ask one question that I asked her in that particular GST episode as well, that uh, like when you are waking up every day, sir, right? You are knowing almost everything. You keep yourself updated. What is one thing that pushes you that, okay, this is what I want to achieve in this particular day, so that people here can also learn that if Bimal sir can do that after so much of achievements, we should be doing that too. So with this, sir, dice is all yours.
Let me thank hers for a lovely introduction. Just one and simple thing. Life is all about going and walking, whatever pace and speed you have. I'm not saying that you should start running like sprinter, and I'm not saying that you should stop somewhere. Only objective should be that we should walk, run the way we are having capability. And how you should be doing that, the simple thing, you need to be passionate about yourself. You should be pushing yourself. You should be motivating yourself. None else can come and motivate you unless you are motivated inside. None can come and awake you unless you want to awake. If you're sleeping and you do not want to awake, who can come and awake you? None. So objective should be that every day passing by, it is going from our life term, whatever God has given to us. If we are not justifying that day, it means it's a wastage. We should not do that. Each moment is very important and we must try to put some value to it. And that is what the objective should be. So I'm sure a lot of you are watching me. They will agree with me that we need to be religiously walking the talk. Whatever we talk, we must be walking on same. And we must use our each moment in a best possible manner. Rest, leave it to God. God is watching us. If we are putting our efforts, doing our activity, sincere about ourselves, rest assured, God will look after us. That is the only thumb rule I carry for myself. I'm sharing with my all friends. Hope all of you will agree with me. If you are agreeing with me, a thumbs up, then we will start today's webinar.
God will look after us and GST will be taken after by CA BImal sir. So that's how we do here now. So thank you so much, sir, for your anecdote. And let's
Thank
start,
you.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you. So let me start with the topic. If you look at today's webinar, wage and means of litigation. Why this topic? Are we interested as a taxpayer or tax professional? Are we interested to find wage and means for the litigation? No way. Taxpayer and tax professionals are always looking for simplicity, ease of business. They want litigation should be reduced as minimum as possible. But why there are so many ways and means? Why department it's coming out in such a huge litigation in GST? We never thought of. When GST got introduced, we thought that it is going to ease our business, good and simple tax going to be levied, provide the simplification to all of us together, but things are not going in a way we are looking for. Things are going contrary. Who is accountable and responsible? I hope a lot of you will agree with me that the department is creating many litigation. So today, the first topic which I'm going to discuss, the discrimination. Even I've seen the government policy are creating discrimination when I look at taxpayer versus tax department. Why this discrimination? If this government policy is giving support to discrimination, how we can say right to equality? How we can say ease of business? Government must look at both taxpayer and tax department with same eyes, same ears. They must listen to both of us with the same wavelength. If they are biased to the tax department, how then each of business will come? And why I'm saying that there's a discrimination? Let me prove by my one example, and a lot of you will agree with me. There's a clear discrimination when I look at taxpayer versus tax department. Let's take an example, and you will agree with me. And for that subject matter, the important subject matter, which I will tell you what is that one, pending before Honorable Supreme Court. The important aspect. Let's say your March 2020, and I'm sure my all the viewers is listening to me properly, paying the attention also. If you're listening to me and paying attention, then only you can pass the order, judgment. So you all are lordship as on date. Let me, the council, argue this point. Why discrimination? Why department, government is biased to the department? They are giving favor to the department, and same advantage is not being given to the taxpayer. You need to pass the order. Let me put my point across to you. The first point. Let's say March 2020, GSTR 3B. I'm supposed to file, right? March 2020. But March 2020 is known to all of us for the COVID-19. We have seen that COVID came worldwide, including India. March 2020 is known to all of us together. And I could not file my GSTR 3B for a number of reasons. Business was closed. I was not having enough cash working capital to deposit the tax liability. I could not file my 3B. Now this 3B pertaining to financial year 1920. Financial year 1920, because March 2020 GSTR 3B I'm referring to. I was supposed to file, and as per the law provision, as per section 16 subsection 4 of CGST Act, time limit to avail credit. Last date was 20th October 2020. Earliest up to date, right? Under section 16 subsection 4. Due date of furnishing return under section 39 for the month of September following the end of relevant financial year. So due date would be 20th October 2020 or due date of furnishing annual return, whichever is earlier. So for me, I was supposed to file 3B for the month of March 2020, and if I want to avail credit, it should have been filed by 20th October 2020. But I could not file. Reason is very simple. COVID-19, there was business closures. I was not having working capital, lot of medical exigencies, lot many factor. I could submit my 3B only on 27th November 2020. 27th November 2020. There was late, delay. What department did? They have raised the show cause notice, passed the impugned order, stating that BImal, you will not get the credit because you are filing your 3B beyond the due date as per section 16, subsection 4. So they have denied my rightful credit, barred by limitation in terms of section 16, subsection 4, because I filed my 3B on 27th November 2020. Now, this is the case when, as a taxpayer, even the government did not give me any extension. COVID-19 was there, known to all of us together. Even there was Supreme Court cognizance order, suo motu cognizance order. You must be knowing that starting from 15th March 2020, and that got extended to 20th February 2022. Supreme Court has taken the cognizance, but this government did not extend the time limit for availing credit, knowing the fact there was COVID-19. Okay? It is for a taxpayer advantage, whether they are giving advantage to us. I said discrimination, right? Let me prove how it is discrimination is being created by government. In recent times, you must be knowing 1718, 1819, non-fraud cases under section 73. Lot of show cause notices are being issued by the department. Lot of show cause notices in volume they have issued, non-fraud cases, 73. So what is the time limit to pass order and issue show cause notice for non-fraud cases? To listen very carefully. You need to pay attention. I hope you are listening to me properly. If you go to section 73, it is talking about the time limit to pass order is 3 years from the due date of furnishing annual return. So for 1718, what was the due date? It was 5th or 7th February 2020. For some state, it was 5th of February. For some state, it was 7th of February 2020. So if I look at 73 non-fraud cases, orders should have been passed within 3 years. So should have been by 5th of February 23 or 7th of February 23. And show cause notices must have been issued at least 3 months before. So this would be prior to 5th of November 2022. 5th of November 2022. But we all know they have issued show cause notices for non-fraud cases under section 73 in the month of September 23. If I look at this, mathematics, then these are barred by limitation. But what they took the advantage? There was one notification, 13/2022. And by this notification, the date for passing the order under section 73 was extended till 30th September 23. Which was further amended by 9/23, Central Tax, 31st March 2023. This 30th September again further got extended by 31st December 23. By notification only, they have extended the time period. But do you know the background in what context these notifications were issued? These notifications were issued in the context of Section 168A, capital A. When you go back to Section 168, capital A, the explanation, government is being empowered. They can always extend the time period. Only in a case when there is force majeure circumstances. Force majeure circumstances. While issuing these notification, if you go back to GST Council agenda paper and minutes, they have cited that in 23 there was COVID-19. In 23, by when that suo motu cognizance order of Supreme Court got expired on 20th February 2022, in 23 they are saying there is COVID-19. And because of that, their department, their so-called officers, GST officer, did not complete the proceedings for issuing so-called notice and order under Section 73. And this extension was given to them for they could not do. Why they could not do? COVID-19. In 23, is it not a clear-cut case of discrimination? March 2020, there was COVID-19. Supreme Court suo motu cognizance order is talking about COVID-19. In 23, you are citing COVID-19 and saying force majeure circumstances and getting this time period extended. Is it not a clear-cut case of discrimination? Whether my right to equality in terms of Article 14 is not violated? You tell me now. I want judgment only on this point. Otherwise, I will talk about 16 subsection 4 of CGST Act. Listening this point, what is your take? Is it not clear-cut discrimination against the taxpayer? You're biased to the department. You're giving advantage to the department. Am I clear to all? If you're clear, I need to have thumbs up. And if you can say thumbs up, at least I would be happy that you agree with my points, that this is what we are talking about. So, so I started getting many thumbs up from all of you. Thank you very much. Thank you. And that is what, okay. Okay. Now listen very carefully. We have filed a lot many writ petition only on this ground, that these so-called notices and impugned order, which is passed in December 23 for Section 73 non-fraud cases in extended time period. As per this notification, by invoking Section 168A, we have filed the writ petition that these are barred by limitation. For simple reason, there is no force majeure circumstances, and they should not have used this provision for extending the time period, and thereby these so-called notices are impugned. These orders are impugned and barred by limitation. And lot many writ petition in different high court only on Section 168A. Keeping finger crossed, ad interim stay is being granted in number of judgment. Such impugned order are being stayed, but no specific order has come out as yet that honorable court has acknowledged this position, but they have given interim stay, ad interim stay in number of judgment. Now we have to wait and watch how the honorable court will look at this provision, whether COVID-19 existence can be proven in 23 when you can't see COVID-19 in March 2020. Wait and watch. First point. Coming back to Section 16, subsection 4. Time limit to avail credit. And time limit is the earliest of to date, I've explained. So taking same example where from I started, March 2020 GSTR 3B, I could not file by 20th October 2020. I could only submit on 27th November 2020, beyond the due date. my credit is being denied by the department. If you pick up the cases, GST litigated cases today, 16 subsection 4 is the one of the burning topic as on date. Now, writ petition was filed in first of case before Honorable AP High Court in the case of Thirumalakonda plywood. And important three prayer was put it across before the Honorable Bench. The first prayer was that Section 16, subsection 2, start with non-obstante clause, notwithstanding anything contained in the section. No registered person shall avail the credit unless satisfy the condition. What are the conditions? Recipient should have invoice. Recipient must have received goods or services. His supplier must have paid taxes, and the recipient regularly filing GST return. There was no provision of time limit under Section 16, subsection 2. Time limit condition was there in Section 16, subsection 4. Thereby, the prayer was that Section 16, subsection 2, starting with non-obstante clause, is overriding Section 16, subsection 4. Honorable AP High Court has held that these provisions are in two different contexts. The non-obstante clause of Section 16, subsection 2 need to be read with Section 16, subsection 1. And under Section 16, subsection 1, they are saying only registered person would be entitled to avail credit subject to certain restriction and condition and manner as may be prescribed. In that context, this non-obstante clause. And they're saying that even though you are registered, but you will not get the credit unless you satisfy the condition. So reference of Section 16, subsection 4 is in different context. It has got nothing to do with Section 16, subsection 2. So thereby this prayer of the petitioner was set aside. So Honorable AP High Court has said no. With the non-obstante clause which you are referring under Section 16, subsection 2 is not taking away the time limit provision. It is there. Second prayer. During that impugned time period, 3B was allowed to file along with late fees. And the prayer which was put across by the petitioner that if I'm being allowed to file 3B with the late fees, it is meaning that my time limit gets exonerated, get extended if I deposit with the late fees. This was the presumption by the petitioner. Honorable AP High Court has said no way. You're allowed to file 3B with late fees does not mean that your time limit gets exonerated, means gets extended. If government wanted, they could have issued the notification. So this prayer was again set aside. Third prayer was whether the GST credit is really violative of Article 14, Article 19(1)(g), or Article 300 capital A. AP High Court has very clearly said, no way, it is not violative. GST credit is only concession or benefit. It is not your vested right. It becomes vested right only when you satisfy the condition on the day when you're availing credit. So it is not your vested right. So you must be recalling Honorable Supreme Court judgment in the case of Philco Trade Center for transitional credit. Transitional credit means pre-GST credit, which was availed in pre-GST regime, was transitioned into GST regime, and government wanted to put condition to it. In that regard, Honorable Supreme Court has said once they have satisfied the condition on the date of availment, then it is their vested right. You can't put condition. So what I'm drawing here, that GST credit is concession or benefit. It becomes vested right only when you satisfy the condition. So all three prayers are set aside. Then this matter has gone to different High Court, Patna High Court, Govinda Construction. then Calcutta High Court, BBA Infrastructure Limited, then Chhattisgarh High Court, Jain Brothers, all the judgment are against us. What is the way forward? What is the light we can see that it may give some relief to all of us together? We have filed SLP before Honorable Supreme Court. SLP got admitted, notice is being issued to the revenue for filing counter, and next date is 8th of July 24. But what are the points we have picked up in the SLP where we are relying upon? And I'm hopeful that we will get the relief. Keeping finger crossed that what Honorable Supreme Court going to decide, I'm not sure at this point of time, but I can tell you the pointers, the important pointers on which we have filed the SLP before Honorable Supreme Court. What are those pointers? Listen those pointers carefully. Point number 1. Was it violative of Article 14? The point, discrimination, I have already explained to all of you. Discrimination to the taxpayer, disadvantage to the taxpayer, but advantage to the tax department. COVID-19 in March 20 was existing for all of us together, is not made basis for extension of time period, but COVID-19 in 23, when it is not there, made basis for extension of time period for issuance of notice and order under Section 73. Was it not discrimination? Point 1. Second point, what is right to equality? Right to equality means among two class, there should be same right, equal right to both of them. I'm creating one example for all of you for understanding sake. Let's take an example, financial year 22-23 for understanding purpose. Why I'm saying it is violative of Article 14, listen very carefully. For financial year 22-23, there's one category of taxpayer who is availing credit for the month of April 22. April 22, part of financial year 22-23. And there's another category of taxpayer who are availing credit for the month March 23. So one category April 22, one category March 23, but the same financial year 22-23. What is the last date for both of them for availing credit as per Section 16, subsection 4? 30th November 23 for both of them. So look at the category of taxpayer availing credit in the month of April 22. It's getting a longer time period. And another category for March 23 for the same financial year is getting a shorter time period. Is it not violative? Are we equal among the same class? We are not equal. There's no right to equality is being given to us. Why it is not violative of Article 14? I'm sure that the Honorable Supreme Court going to ask that what is suggestion in your mind. So I'm drawing a reference of Sanvet credit rules from Central Excise perspective. You must be recalling Rule 4, Sub-Rule 7 of Sanvet credit rules, wherein you are getting credit of Central Excise component. There is a specific provision that credit would be taken within 1 year from date of invoice. So it is not putting a time limit of 30th November. They are saying credit is available within 1 year from date of invoice. So whether you are the category of April 22 or March 23, both are given equal opportunity. That is what the right to equality can be protected. You can't put discrimination, longer time period to the category of April 22 and shorter time period to March 23 category of taxpayer. This is the first important point on discrimination. Coming to the second point, in GST regime, GST liabilities accrual. If we don't pay on time, then there's the interest liability, 18% per annum. Now my question, and the point which we are going to put forth before Honorable Supreme Court. If I'm a taxpayer, if I don't pay, I need to pay interest from due date to actual date of payment, 18% per annum. Why then government has not allowed me? Listen carefully. Why then government has not allowed me to file my 3B without payment of tax? Non-payment of tax or short payment of tax. I may be having working capital issue. I may not have received the money from my client. I'm not having financial resources. I can't pay up. If I can't pay up, why you're not allowing me to file my 3B with non-payment or short payment? At least my credit gets protected. Of course, if I've delayed, Department Revenue would be asking me to pay along with interest at the rate of 18% per annum. That is also safeguarding revenue interest. You are taking interest from me, from a taxpayer. That is safeguarded for revenues interest. Why you are not safeguarding taxpayer interest, availing credit? You're not allowing me to file 3B if I'm not having enough cash, working capital to deposit the tax payment. Why this blockage? Is it not creating artificial blockage for me? You should allow me to file 3B on time. I will avail the credit. If delay in payment, take through DRC 03 along with interest. Who is stopping you? Second point. I hope you will agree with me. Are you all getting it? Can I see thumbs up from all of you? At least you are with me, sync with me, that you're getting my pointers. Can I see that? Can I see that? All right. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you. So thumbs up means you are understanding. That's the important aspect. Very good. Now let's listen third component pertaining to that. Whether GSTR 3B is really a document for availing credit. I'm asking whether 3B is really a document for availing credit. Until 1st October 2022, 1st October 2022, you must be recalling that Section 38 GSTR 2 was a credit statement for availing credit. And this GSTR 2 was existing until 1st October 2022. If department says that no, you have not filed 3B on time, I will not give you the credit. As a taxpayer, it is my defense that there was GSTR 2 which was existing until 1st October 2022. And GSTR 2 never got implemented. How you can say that my credit is barred by limitation? So I can always say there was reasonable belief that which is the credit document, 2 or 3B. And even for 3B, we got litigation. 3B was referred by Honorable Gujarat High Court that 3B is not a return under Section 39. Because under Section 39, GSTR 3 was the return referred, not 3B. What government did? By retrospective amendment, by notification number 49/2019, dated 9th October 2019, they have said 3B is now going to be returned under Section 39, that too with retrospective date July 1, 2017. But I'm having reasonable belief that during this impugned time period till 1st October 2022, GSTR 2 was also existing as a credit availing document, which was never implemented. And I'm recalling one judgment of Madras High Court, Kevin HP Gas. Kevin HP Gas. There also factual position was petitioner could not submit 3B because for want of money. He was not having enough working capital. He was not having cash with him. He could not submit 3B on time. So his credit was denied. He argued before Lordship why my 3B was not made available. And 3B was not the statement for availing credit, it was GSTR 2. Keeping these propositions in mind, Honorable Madras High Court has given relief, and they have said when Section 38 GSTR 2 reference was there, then you can't restrict his credit depending on 3B time limit condition. So this was the third argument in front of you. And I'm giving these pointers to all of you just to draw your attention that what could be the fate of section 16 subsection 4 of CGST Act. So I've given a number of things one after another to all of you, and given this platter to give a thought to it. Today we are doing some ways and means how to defend litigation. In case litigation comes up, what would be way forward from your side? So this is on section 16 subsection 4 with the point we all need equal parity. When I'm talking about parity, I can touch base another point, interest. GST liability is on accrual basis, right? As a taxpayer, I need to pay. Even though I have not received from my client, I need to pay. If I delay, interest would be 18% per annum. Why there is no parity when we are supposed to get back refund from the department? First of all, we don't get refund within 60 days as prescribed under section 54. And then interest, if there's a delay beyond 60 days, then do you know what is the rate of interest under section 56? It is only 6%. 6% versus 18%. What is parity here? Why this kind of discrimination? Who is adding fuel? Means of litigation? I can only tell you one thing. Taxpayer need to be protected. Yes, revenue is important for the nation. Revenue is important for government, but not at the cost of business. That would be my humble submission and humble prayer. Those who are watching me, even from the department side, I will request them, put your hands on your heart and tell me, is it not discrimination against the taxpayer? Why such provision? Why we are not creating equality among both of us, taxpayer and tax department? That is how you have to ensure business is surviving. If business will survive, revenue will survive. That's what the utmost point which I'm drawing. Hope this point is clear. If clear, I want to see thumbs up, then I will take up another case study. If I'm clear, then yes, I need thumbs up from all of you that yes, you got it. All right, very good. So thumbs up has come. Thank you very much. Come to the next point. Next boiling point. Nowadays, what we are finding that GST registration is getting cancelled for number of regions by the proper officer. If you go to section 29, subsection 2 of CGST Act, proper officer is being empowered to cancel the GST registration. No denial, no denial. And reason could be violation of GST provision and rules made thereunder. If you are not filing your return for a specified time period, if you have taken voluntary registration but not commence your business within 6 months, and it most interesting, section 29, subsection 2, clause E, when you have taken registration by means of fraud, suppression, and willful misstatement. These are the reasons cited. On these grounds, proper officers are being empowered to cancel the registration. What is happening today? I'm giving you the live case study for which we filed the writ petition in Delhi High Court and we got the relief. I'm giving you this particular, case study, telling you what is going on as on date. It is one of case which I'm referring to you, but may be related to lot many taxpayer in supply chain. It is not only cancellation of GST registration for a one taxpayer. After first you will get the notice why we should not cancel your registration. The same case happened in the case of my petitioner for which I filed the writ petition. What was the case? Let me tell you. On 16th May 23, we received a show cause notice and department alleging that you have taken registration by means of fraud, suppression, or willful misstatement. Why your registration should not be cancelled? I got this show cause notice. What we did reply back to the department telling them, sir, I took my registration on 4th of February 2018. 4th of February 2018. You're issuing a so-called notice to me on 16th May 23 and alleging that I've taken registration by means of fraud. Please tell me the region and basis. What is the region and basis you are alleging that I've taken registration by means of fraud? And that is what I want to draw here. If you get so-called notice, your facts must be rated properly. Just allegation will not work. Department only simply allegation and not putting any kind of substantiation, any basis why they are alleging so. Is it really so-called notice? I replied in 2 paragraphs only. I said, sir, kindly let me know what basis you are alleging I've taken registration by means of fraud. Took my registration in February 18. In May 23, you're alleging so. Please explain to me so that I can defend myself and give me opportunity of being heard also. So I replied just 2 paragraphs in 1-pager reply submitted on 23rd May 23. To utter surprise, not to me, for every one of us here, and you will agree with me, it is happening with lot many taxpayer. What they did, they have cancelled the registration. Not only cancellation from effective date, with retrospective date, 4th of February 2018, they cancelled my registration. This petitioner came up to me and said, sir, they have cancelled my registration, and that too with retrospective date. And just adding fire to this, what now department normally doing across supply chain, once they cancel your registration with retrospective date, now they will go back to your buyer who have purchased the goods or services from you and will telling them you will not get the credit because your supplier registration got cancelled with retrospective date. This is not only cancellation of registration we are referring to. Now they will go back to your buyer and dispute their credit, saying that your registration of your supplier got cancelled with retrospective date, and this is ineligible credit. Your buyer will not get the credit, and they will create mess. Not only mess with me, this mess is existing with lot many taxpayers. Do you all agree? Do you all agree? It is happening pan-India. Believe me, it's not only the case of Delhi I'm referring to. I'm referring the case of pan-India. It is happening. Am I right in saying so? It is happening pan-India. Pan-India, it is happening. What is the way forward? Way forward could be, I could have filed by revocation application under Section 30, read with Rule 23 of CGST Act. Time period was 30 days, but from 1st October 23, time period got extended 90 days, plus further can be extended by 180 days, either by commissioner or any proper officer being authorized by additional commissioner or joint commissioner. So fortunate this time period got extended. So I could have taken revocation application for cancellation of GST registration. Another alternative could be I could have filed appeal against this cancellation order under Section 107, which is 3 + 1 month. And the last option was writ petition before Delhi High Court. Why we need to go to Delhi High Court when alternate remedy available, and there's a rightful fear in the mind of taxpayer. I'm having option of revocation application. I'm having option of filing appeal, but still I want to move writ petition under Article 226 and 227 to the Constitution of India. Can I go for writ petition? We took a decision. We filed a writ petition before Honorable Delhi High Court. And let me tell you, this is the silver lining. You must take a note of it. You're listening to me. Listen very carefully. Even though alternate remedy is available, even though alternate remedy is available, but you can definitely go for writ petition before Honorable Delhi High Court when you find these 4 situations. 4 situations. What are those 4 situations? Situation number 1. First, situation number 1. When there is a violation of fundamental right. Situation number 2, when there is a violation of principle of natural justice. Is it a case in my case with factual I've narrated? Yes, they have not given me opportunity of being heard. They didn't consider my reply that I wanted basis and region. Why they are alleging that I've taken registration by means of fraud? Why such allegation? They did not consider my reply. Third, I also cited that at least you should have given some circumstances, given me PH. Even under section 29, subsection 2, there's a provision, a proper officer who is cancelling your registration, including from the retrospective date, he must give you PH. There's a specific provision, 75 subsection 4. Note down, 75 subsection 4. If any adverse order is passed against you, they are bound, legally bound, to give you PH, personal hearing, which they never give. So I've cited, so second, violation of principle of natural justice. Third, when they are beyond jurisdiction, excessive jurisdiction, which is not falling within their authority, but still they are passing the order. And when you're challenging bias of law, these are the 4 grounds. Having alternate remedy is not a bar. You can move writ petition, and that is what we move writ petition before Delhi High Court. And before Honorable Delhi High Court, in the case of Rahul Jain and company, I pleaded and I put my prayer across. I said, Lordship, this department is alleging that I have taken registration by means of fraud, but not bothering to tell me the region and basis. Lordship, I responded back. I asked them, tell me what is the basis and region you are having in your mind. They did not adhere to. Lordship, they have not given me PH also, which they are supposed to, and they passed this cancellation order, cancellation of registration, which was never alleged in a show cause notice with retrospective date, but in order they have done with the retrospective date. Lordship, complete violation of principle of natural justice. On day 1, when this came up for hearing, quite obvious department was looking for counter. But Honorable Bench was satisfied that when he's writing you and asking you, and those paragraphs are being picked up from the reply which we submitted and made operative part of the judgment, that you're not letting them know what is the basis and region of their registration taken on the means of fraud, which you are alleging. You're not giving PS to them. How come it is possible? This impugned show cause notice and order set aside. And fortunately, it's a kind of achievement. You can say that 5,000 rupees penalty got levied on revenue in that particular order. But my only submission was, why these litigation? Why these litigation? Today, registration is like, when we started in GST, we started with 3 days registration, within 3 days, 3 working days. Now, for getting registration, you know how things are happening at department level. I do not want to quote anything on public domain, but it is known to all of us together. Do you all agree? If you agree, I need to see thumbs up. Because who is then contradicting this ease of business? Who is contradicting these positions? Are we contradicting these positions? No, we're not. You created the law, you implemented the law without having GST in place. Now we are talking about fake registration. Let me take third point now together. Now they are cancelling my registration with retrospective date. Supplier's registration got cancelled with retrospective date. Disputing credit in the hands of buyer and recipient. What is the fault of buyer? What is the fault of buyer or recipient? Let's say I have purchased some goods in July 18. Let's assume July 18 I purchased. And July 18, we both were active number. My supplier was filing 1 and 3B also. It is visible. I made payment through bank statement. There's a tax invoice available with me. There's the proof existing. I've received the goods and everything. Everything was in order. In 22-23, for some either or region, you're cancelling supplier registration, that too with retrospective date, and now disputing credit of July 18 in the hands of buyer, saying that this is ineligible, this is fake credit, this is fraud credit. How come possible? How come possible? And lot many judgment coming only on this point unless department prove connivance. They have to prove that this supplier and recipient are in connivance. Just only have a cancel registration of supplier with retrospective date cannot be made basis, because this recipient buyer is having all the proof readily available. Supplier was filing 1, supplier was filing 3B, payment is made through bank statement, goods are being received, eBay bill is available, supplier paid the taxes, it was not disputed at all. Now, just because you have cancelled the registration with retrospective date, how you can allege for the past period credit unless you prove the connivance? Lot many judgment, Calcutta High Court, LGW Industries, Sanchita Kundu, Gargo Traders, Odisha High Court, Bright Star Plastic Industries Limited. I'm only naming these judgment. Even Suncraft Energy Private Limited, Calcutta High Court judgment for which SLP was filed in Supreme Court. Honorable Supreme Court has dismissed the SLP because they were not inclined to interfere in the subject matter because supplier has not paid the taxes. Why you did not initiate action during the impugned time period? Why you're coming back at a later date with retrospective date, you're cancelling registration? It is not doable at all. So I'm just giving food and platter to all of you that these litigation, why? Let me touch base the fourth point. We have seen in a supply chain, and listen very carefully, I will take 5 minutes to explain to all of you, and you all will agree with me that these are unwanted litigation. Let's say you are a sixth position buyer. I'm your immediate supplier. BImal Jain is a fifth position supplier in the supply chain. You're purchasing from me. And let's carry on in the supply chain. There's the fourth, there's the third, there's the second, there's the one. L1. L1 who took registration, file 1, did not pay the taxes through 3B. L1. And that credit which is passed on to L2, L2 has used that credit for discharging the output tax, and that is how the supply chain is flowing. Only one took registration, filed 1, did not pay the taxes. Now I'm asking you, as a sixth position buyer and recipient, what you will do? You will only check the transaction with your immediate supplier, whether BImal Jain has given the invoice, supplied the goods, eBay bill was generated or not, 1 filed so that coming in 2A, 2B, 3B filed or not. These are the status you will look at, right? Do you have any option to go back beyond BImal Jain and check? There was some L1 who took registration and filed 1 and did not pay taxes. Is there any window available? Tell me, yes or no. Is there any window available? How you would be penalized? What is your fault? When there is no window available, why you are being penalized? You are seeing all compliances with your immediate supplier BImal Jain, which is there. You will see only to that extent only. You are not supposed to go back and check, and that is not available. There is a subtle doctrine of impossibility. Lax non cogit ad impossibilia. Lax non cogit ad impossibilia. Meaning thereby, you cannot compel a person to do something impossible. You cannot. Can't be possible. Can't be done. You can only check transaction with your immediate supplier. You can't go back beyond BImal Jain and know about it. Of course, section 155 putting burden of proof on you, but you are required to check with BImal Jain only, right? You can't go back beyond BImal Jain. So that is what my point. And why such litigation? Who faulted with? Who faulted with? Who is responsible for that? I said government is responsible. GSTN was not available. 2A came sometime in January 2019, right? So all these fake registration, these black sheep who are there in supply chain, they took the advantage. Whether if GST, the way it was supposed to be, could have been implemented, then I'm sure we could not have come across these kind of situation. Since 2A was not available, none was aware. Leave it, taxpayer, even department was not aware of that there's someone L1 who took the fake registration. Only filed 1, did not file 3B. Even they came to know only when 2A came into the picture. Why they can put blame on taxpayer? Are they not accountable? Are not they understanding their weaknesses on their system implementation, which was never implemented? 2 and 3 never got implemented. And these provision pertaining to ITC matching and mismatching, the relevant provision of ITC matching, mismatching, section 38, completely got substituted. 42, 43, 43A, all got substituted only from this 42, 43, 43A got omitted rather from 1st October 2022. So prior to 1st October 2022, there was provision you did not implement. Now you cannot compel the buyer or recipient to reverse credit. My humble submission. Hope you all are agreeing with me. Am I clear to all? Am I clear to all? If am I clear, then please say thumbs up so that, yes, so that at least you all are getting it. Perfect. Perfect. So thank you very much. I got 2 more case studies. 2 more case studies, then I will sum up today. Don't worry about 2 more case studies. You have seen 17, 18, a lot many so-called notices which I was referring, issued under section 73. Pan India I've seen. You please correct me if I'm wrong anywhere. What I've seen, they have issued such so-called notices for non-fraud cases under section 73 before 30th September 23. They have passed the order before 31st December 23. In lot many order, what I've seen, just one-liner order. Your reply is unsatisfactory. Hence, demand confirmed. That is how the format one-pager order they have passed. Am I right, first of all? Am I right? I've seen in lot many cases. Am I right in saying so? Do you all agree with me? Yes, you have seen that this stereotype order is being passed. Apart from my argument of beyond limitation, section 168A, there was no force majeure circumstances. I'm leaving those pointers aside. Why such one-liner order? Are they not supposed to look at my reply, detailed reply? Are they not supposed to ask me that what defense I'm putting across? Are they not supposed to give me personal hearing? In one of the case for which we filed a writ petition in Delhi High Court, Boxco World India Logistics Private Limited, just one pager, one paragraph order, your reply is unsatisfactory. How to make satisfactory? I do not know. You should cite reason. I'm asking from the department, you should cite reason. Why you are not satisfied? What is the basis you are not agreeing with me? You can't say one-liner and say it is unsatisfactory. And we filed a writ petition. And with this order, what happened? With this order, what happened? Either you need to go to appeal, first appeal, 107, within 3+1 month. It's not a matter of appeal only. There's a pre-deposit condition. You need to make compulsory pre-deposit under section 107, subsection 6 of CGST Act. And for filing first appeal before appellate authority, first you pay up your admitted liability, tax liability, interest, penalty, fees, whatever. then 10% compulsorily pre-deposit of disputed tax. This 10% where from it will come? First of all, unwanted litigation. First of all, unwanted allegation in the show cause notice, and then impugned order with one-liner unsatisfactory. Where from I will get finance, working capital to file this first appeal? We have to go back to before Delhi High Court and file a writ petition saying that this is violation of principle of natural justice because my detailed reply was never considered by the department. He did give me the opportunity of being heard, but nothing is being considered. Even my reply was not considered, and he's not giving me any reason why my reply is not correct. It is violated. And not only in my case, I'm damn sure in as many of you who is watching me today, you must have got the order, such so-called notices and order are being set aside and remanded back to the authority, keeping finger crossed that these remanded back orders should not be, again in the same stereotype way. They would be giving me proper listening, proper hearing, and considering my detailed reply. So who is creating litigation? When I'm talking about wage and means of litigation, it goes to whom? It goes to the department. They have to introspect. And that is what the tagline of today's webinar, wage and means of litigation. Am I creating litigation? No, I'm not creating any litigation. I'm only putting my time and efforts and money. If time, efforts, money of taxpayer and department both are getting wasted, are we not spoiling our national resources? This is national resource. Our time and efforts collectively. Taxpayer time and efforts, department time and efforts, and such officers who are passing such order, why there is not credit rating for them? When department talks about credit rating for the taxpayer, why there is no credit rating system for the tax officers? Those who are passing these kind of order, are they not accountable? Who is going to listen to me? And this is what I myself individually is not crying, but this is what happening pan India. Do you all agree? Do you all agree? Please tell me, do you all agree? If agreed, then of course we have to. And the last case study now, pre-deposit. For filing first appeal, there is a compulsory provision of compulsory pre-deposit. If you look at pre-GST era, it was 7.5% first appeal, then 2.5% for filing appeal before tribunal. Total is 10%. As against this provision, what is the provision in GST regime? Filing appeal, first appeal, you first pay up your admitted liability of tax, interest, penalty, late fees, complete full when admitted, and then 10% of disputed tax, subject to maximum of 50 crore, including CGST and SGST. When your appeal goes to tribunal, of course, you must pay admitted liability, tax, interest, fees, penalty, and everything. And then additionally, 20% of disputed tax. So 10% you have paid first appeal. Now, tribunal 20% subject to maximum of 100 crore rupees. C plus S. This is what the provision for pre-deposit. But look at the dispute got started. Odisha High Court in the case of Jyoti Construction. In Jyoti Construction, Honorable Odisha High Court has said, no, you have to pay everything through cash. You can't use your e-credit ledger. And a lot of hue and cry then arisen because of this Odisha High Court judgment. Later on, Bombay High Court, in the case of Oasis Reality, it is being held that you can pay your pre-deposit through e-credit ledger. And subsequently, circular was issued, circular number 172, dated 6 July 2022, that For pre-deposit, you can use your e-credit ledger. But do you know that 129 penalty order for, when there is a violation of when movement of goods and conveyance, and it is being detained by the proper officer, and proper officer is detaining Pan India for the region known to you. Sometimes even invoice number is not matching, detained. Penalty order passed 200%. I'm only saying that such penalty order 200% for taxable supply, whether justified. And if you want to file appeal against such penalty order, do you know what is the pre-deposit amount? It is 25%. And that too you need to pay in cash, because penalty can't be paid through e-credit ledger. You have to pay through cash ledger. Are we really easing business? Are we really easing? And such a section 129 penalty order, you must be knowing so many frivolous grounds. And these proper officers are issuing such order, and for that pre-deposit 25%, that too in cash. No way, it is not helping ease of business. Believe me, it's not helping ease of business. So these were some of the pointers I thought from litigation perspective. Otherwise, there are many points which we can continue to discuss today. But I thought, let me create some crisp 1 hour, 10 minutes dedicated capsule, wage and means of litigation. Many happening. But I tried from my side, making it easy for all of you. So this is all from my side on litigation perspective. But I can only tell you, litigation is not good. It is not helping, neither to the taxpayer nor to the department. We are wasting our national resources. And what is the background past? I've seen 90% of cases which is being disputed by the department gets cleared and decided in favor of a taxpayer when it reaches to the Supreme Court. 90% of tax demands gets diluted and decided in favor of taxpayer when it reaches to the Honorable Supreme Court. So only 10% comes in the kitty of department revenue. Whether these numbers are not supposed to be self-introspected, why we are creating such kind of unwanted litigation? GST was never meant to create litigation. Of course, litigation on rightful ground, appreciated. But litigation only for the sake of litigation, I'm of the view we have to look at. We have to introspect. So wage and means of litigation was the tagline, but are we taxpayer or tax department? And why discrimination? I started from discrimination, right? Why discrimination? We both are baby for the government. Taxpayer and tax department are baby for the government. So government need to look after to both of us together. If credit rating for the taxpayer, then credit rating must be for the tax officer as well. Why there will not be credit rating for the tax officer who are passing such frivolous order? Why they will not be made accountable? And then only we can see the real age of business. I'm sure you must have liked today's this dedicated program only on litigation. Your feedback, input, anything you can write back in question answers tab. Some of the questions would be delighted. I will definitely take up. But with this, before I say thank you, let me check once again. And this time I want you should write back in question answers tab. Are you all willing? You have to write back in your question answers tab. Zoho Books is taking this initiative, handholding to make GST as a good and simple tax. I'm just partnering with them, and we are coming together and trying our best, and we are picking up different topic for making GST more interesting, and always trying from our side, providing handholding. We are also creating lot many videos and putting on our YouTube channel. You can always, subscribe to our LinkedIn, Insta, Facebook, YouTube for watching all update on GST. And this is how we are trying real walk the talk. And with this, of course, we can try our best. So I hope you must have enjoyed today's webinar. Am I right in saying so? You must have enjoyed the content. You must have enjoyed the topic which we have picked up. So if you have enjoyed, a word, and wishing each one of you a great success in your GST persona. And definitely, there are lot many ways and means to defend yourself against the litigation. Thank you very much, and handing over to hers to take it forward from here.
Thank you, sir. And once again, a very thoughtful and thought-provoking rather presentation by our very own Bimal sir. And as we all know, it's not anything surprising anymore that he does so without having any presentation in front of him. It's all coming from his CPU, as I call it. That this CPU is, I don't know, so what almonds you have in the morning or in the night that you remember so many things to the T. So wonderful, and I'm sure everyone enjoyed it, including me. So yeah, so now we are after just giving some breather to sir. I have received few questions which I will be announcing together with the name of the person who asked the question, and sir will be happy if once he answers it, then at least the person who asked the question if says a thumbs up or maybe sir yes understood or something like that, so that both of us will be knowing that okay, our platform where we are able to garner your questions and provide you answers is being fruitful. So whenever you're ready, shall I start with my first question for the day?
Yes, please.
All right, sir. Thank you. So first question is by Mohit. Sir, GST audit team is planning to issue SCN under section 74 for fiscal year 18-19 for 16 subsection 4 and 2A versus 3B difference. Is this valid?
Mohit, this can't be a case of 74. When something which is coming out from our own GST return, and that to 2A versus 3B or section 16 subsection 4, these are not the case of fraud. So no way they can invoke section 74. And I'm recalling one instruction number 5 of 23, dated 13 December 23. There's one specific para which is being cited in that instruction by government department only, CBIC. And they are relying on Supreme Court judgment, Fiat India Private Limited, and they have said that department should not invoke 74 mechanically, because 74 talks about fraud. So this instruction was towards Northern Operating System for service tax liability on supply of manpower services. And they have further continued to say in that instruction that even though similarity in two cases can be distinguished just only one factor. So we have to look at each of the case distinctly and differently. So to my mind, 74 can't be invoked when we talks about anything which is coming out from GST return, and that too all the numbers are being furnished by us. So 2A versus 3B, can it be made region for 74? 16 subsection 4 can be made the region of 74? To my humble submission, no way, Mohit. So Mohit, are you there? If you're there, a thumbs up, or just write back one word in question answers tab. All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Mohit. Now, second question for the day. So please provide the guidance on 3 month from the communication under section 107 for appeal. If order received on mail is 28/11/23, received by a speed post on 22/12/23, uploaded on portal on 30/12/23, 3 month count will be from which date, sir? By Shashank.
Sasank, now my first advice to you would be you go back and check section 169. And section 169 draw reference of delivery of any notice, order, and it start with alternative. It can be delivered through a mail, it can be delivered through speed post, it can be personally handed over to you. It can be uploaded on portal. These are alternative mechanisms given in section 169. Quite obvious, department going to pick up 28th of November 23, but you would be willing to pick up 30th December 23. I will advise you that now a lot of divergent judgment we are finding on service of notice or service of order. And section 169 is giving alternative window to the department for service of those notice and order. So in case you got the mail and you have received the mail, department will consider this is a good delivery to you, and you could count 3 months only from the date when you received on mail, 28th of November 23. Mostly advisable, but in case that mail has gone to junk, you have not noticed, or maybe speed post which has come to you but you have not noticed, then these alternative things can be substantiated. It cannot be a ground. I'm not saying that ground, but of course when you can prove reasonable ground and saying that you have not received, it was never came to your knowledge for either or region, then of course you can say on portal 30th December 23. Sasank, hope I'm clear to you. Can I see yes, you got it, my point in question answers tab? Sasank, question answers tab, a quick one, so that we can take up more questions. Okay, Prakash is saying yes, got it. Yes, thank you.
Chaliye, koi nahi. So next question is by R. Rajendran. Supplier paid tax late. Does it affect the claim of ITC to the recipient who complied condition 16/2?
Mr. Rajendran, we can defend it. Of course, if supplier has paid the taxes, then the ground of paying taxes are being satisfied. And then we can defend our case that credit is available to me. And to that extent, I'm hopeful, and that is my humble opinion. Mr. R. Rajendran, can I see your answer in question answers tab that you got it?
Yes.
If supplier has not filed 3B or Renew G, then taxes are not being paid. So litigation would be there, but of course it can be defended. Then this supplier should be under obligation to pay the taxes. And until 1st October 2022, I've got different videos which is available on my YouTube channel. That department can't demand reversal from you. You can see the reference of section 41, subsection 2, read with rule 37A. So these different videos are available, Renuji. You can go and watch. Thank you very much. Next question, please.
Yeah. So next question is by Mr. Praveen. Is section 16/4 be applicable if GSTR1 filed late, but the recipient filed GSTR3B timely?
16/4, see, I can always tell you GSTR1 is late, then it is not getting auto-populated in 2A or 2B. And for 2A, we got citation from Honorable Supreme Court, Bharti Airtel, 2A is only facilitation. If taxes are being paid, then you have got good case to take your credit. 2B is applicable only from 1st January 2022. So that is what we have to look at. So for the past period until 1st January 2022, if one is filed late, no problem. Praveen, can I see yes in question answers tab? What is mean of S? I do not know. Prakash is saying S. So I do
yes
not
is
know.
short form.
I do not know. I do not know. Okay, go to the next then. Okay.
All right. So question from Sunil Jain. How we can check when registration was cancelled by the department?
Data available on GST and portal. You can go and check your supplier status. You will get these data. What is the status of your supplier as on date? Available on GST and portal. Sunil ji.
You're here. Please say yes or a thumbs up, sir.
Is he there or gone? I do not
Yeah,
know.
almost all the attendees are still here, sir, when we started. So hopefully.
Okay.
Yes,
No problem.
yes.
Next.
All right. from Mr. Himanshu, a regular visitor of our webinar. I can remember his name easily now. Can pre-deposit be paid via ECL ledger or needs to be paid only in cash?
Mansu, I detailed discussion on this point, and I say that the circular number 172 dated 6th of July 2022 clearly saying you can make pre-deposit through e-credit ledger. Next, Himanshu, you are being appreciated by us also. So have you heard my answer? Himanshu, you have to write back something in question answers tab.
Yes, Himanshu Goel is saying yes. Thank you, Himanshu.
Okay, next.
Next by Atul. Can audit under Section 65 be initiated now, considering timelines for issuance of notice under Section 73 have lapsed? Please guide, sir.
See, Atul, 73 time period is lapsed, but 74 time limit is still open. So to that extent, they are having their right to initiate audit. If they can prove there is a mens rea, fraud, separation, willful misstatement, then of course they can initiate that one. Yes, please.
All right.
Atul, are you there?
Yes,
Atul?
please. Yes, thank you, sir. We got the answer. Thank you for prompt answer, Atul. From Ujjwal. Sir, may DRC 01 and DRC 07 and orders are being uploaded without signatures. Can we challenge the orders and notices on this ground?
Yes, Ujjwal, there are lot many judgment also. Unsigned order and so-called notices are not proper, hence being set aside. Number of High Court judgment. You can go back to our, our Twitter account, other, groups wherein lot many judgment you will find. Ujjwal, can I see your answer in question answers tab? You got it, Ujjwal.
Thank you, Ujjwal Goel. Mr. Prakash is saying yes for everyone. Thank you, Prakash ji. So, Mr. Saurabh, the question is from Mr. Saurabh. Sir, can department directly issue DRC 01?
See, for Saurabh, this is what a disputed one, two different High Court judgment. One is the Devi traders from AP High Court. They are saying that department is entitled, they can issue so-called notice without initiating any scrutiny of written proceedings under Section 61, ASMT 10. They can do that. But if you go to Guwahati High Court, PepsiCo Holding India Private Limited, therein it is being stated that in such cases, ASMT 10 is a must. They can't issue DRC 01 directly because ASMT 10, which is scrutiny of return, is a discrepancy simpliciter. So they said 61 need to be invoked first before issuance of so-called notice under Section 73 or 74. So divergent judgment. So fact of the case will drive this particular questions. That is what my answer. Saurav, I given both the judgment also. Okay.
Saurabh has replied yes. By Singham Sethi, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. So, what would be the average cost of litigation in GST in general?
This is a very good question and very good answer. Depending on the litigation, there's the price. I do not know which litigation you are referring to. Litigation can't be generalized. It all depends on what kind of disease. It's a general disease, special disease. Depending on that, the doctor fees would be decided. Yes, please. Next.
All right. By Mohit, sir, GST audit team is planning to issue SCN under Section 74 for FY 18-19 for 16 subsection 4.
I given the answer.
Yeah, I think he posted again. No worries, Mohit. I believe we have
No,
received the
you
answer.
posted and you copy pasted.
So next question by Ramana. So for
Yeah.
cancelled RTP, audit under Section 65 was conducted and issued ADT 02. Is it lawful?
Cancelled RTP. Was it prior to the period of cancellation, Mr. Ramana? Kindly check. This cancellation was happened when? If this audit was initiated prior to the cancellation, and that is what ADT 02 was issued, then quite obvious prior period can be held valid. Mr. Ramana, are you there in question answers tab? Mr. Ramana?
He has sent a thumbs up on our chat. It's fine.
Okay. K. Mr. M.B. Ramana. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Singham Sethi sir also answered that he has received it. Now, next question is from Rahul. Like financial ground, TVL, Kaveen, HP Gas, Grameen with Ruck case, is there any relief on medical ground?
See, of course, it can be, Rahul, provided we can substantiate, and that's what I was arguing in March 2020. COVID-19 was one of the ground on medical, and that's what we can always say it got delayed filing 3B. So possible, Rahul, we need to really plug in that real factual position. Rahul? Rahul, are you there?
Rahul. Yes, Rahul replies yes.
Okay.
Next is by Amitava. Which rule prevents availing ITC when supplier registration is cancelled retrospectively when good was received when his registration was in full force?
Simple principle of natural justice, Mr. Amitabh. See, I give an example. July 18, you did some transaction. In July 22, department is cancelling supplier's registration with retrospective date and disputing credit of July 18. Is it doable? Unless connivance, if fraud, mens rea connivance is being proven between supplier and recipient. It's a principle of natural justice. There is no rule, but rule is principle of natural justice. You can't be alleged for the past period when supplier and recipient both were active number and your supplier was complying with the provision of law. That is what I've explained and cited number of judgment also. Amitabh, Mr. Amitabh, are you there?
Mhm. Yes,
Yes.
thanks, Amitava Lahidi. Thank you so much. Next question by Rakesh. What is your view on department disallowing GST adjustment on credit note issued to the supplier after sale?
All ridiculous, Rakesh. They are alleging that as if distributor and dealer given services to the manufacturer. Is it the case? No, no. These credit note towards the supply made by the manufacturer. And department is taking contrary view and saying that no, no, this is toward the services given by distributor or dealer. No way. Even I'm also, defending a number of cases, and we have represented to the CBIC also in this regard. Hopeful a clarification may be issued by CBIC also in this regard. Apart from the litigation which we are defending. Rakesh,
Rakesh
can you
G.
say yes?
I think he has sent the animation thumbs up. Yes, Rakesh Kumar Rao. Thank you so much, Rakesh.
Okay.
Then the question is from Pramesh. If DRC 07 is issued, then appeal is to be filed within 3 months. However, if application for rectification of order is filed, then whether the time limit for filing appeal gets extended till the rectification application is rejected.
Yes, again, this question is disputed one. Disputed one. Don't put in more question, Has. Leave it. Okay.
Okay.
My answer to you that I was on a point 10. No.
Shall I
Yeah.
send the question again? Okay.
For rectification, where the time period get extended, there the divergent ruling is coming out, and this is what happening also, pan India. Should we wait for getting rectification order, or we should file appeal within the time period? I will suggest you as a precautionary measure, you should file appeal. Do not wait. Otherwise, department going to at least time bar, and it's a subject matter before the different high court also. So litigation is on. I will suggest you be protected yourself. That's all.
It's from Pramesh Agarwal. So we have few more questions. If not,
One or two question maximum, and then we will sum up today.
all right, all right. So one question from question and answer tab I'm asking, sir, by Mudit Sharma. For one of our appeal, we got an order on 29th December 2023. We have filed an appeal on 29th March 24. Department has asked us to provide condonation letter saying we are 1 day late. The law says 3 months, but department considered 90 days.
You are within time, Mudit, no problem from my side. But again, as I said, litigation, even if I'm putting my condonation application later for 1 day, how it is making difference. But I'm with you, which you rightly say, 3 + 1 month, that is my reading also. Mudit?
Mudit, thank you so much, sir. Fine. Last question for the day. We'll go for a big one for sir. So that okay, fine. So we have a question from by Alka Jain. Sir, when a GST, it's in the question and answer tab, sir. Should I copy and send it to you?
Yeah, that would be much easier for me to read
No, no worries, sir. No worries.
questions.
All right, sir. In our personal chat I sent, tell me if you're able to see. It's by Alka Jain.
Okay.
Okay, sir, when a GST is cancelled by a taxpayer himself after setting all GST proceedings and file final return, then how can it get SCN for such a retrospective cancelled GST by the department?
You must file a writ petition. This is what again violation of the judicial process, the process which is being defined. When it is officially cancelled, all proceedings are being closed, final return is being filed, then how come? And this is what the violation of principle of natural justice. And you can always challenge it and advisable writ petition to you.
Alka ma'am, have we answered your question? I think she gave a thumbs up. So yes, sir. I think we are through for the day.
Okay. So thank you, Alkaji. Thank you very much.
All right.
So
Yeah, sorry, sir. Please.
yeah. So before I sum up, I can only tell you one thing that with the Zoho books and Bimal Jain joining hand in hand and doing together, walk the talk, trying our best to make GST good and simple tax. You can always write back to us on our Twitter, on our any social media platform, anything which you want to be picked up for the next webinar. We would be waiting for coming 5 days. Whatever topic which is being suggested, which is most suggested by the participants, we will pick up that topic for the next webinar. So 5 days only for the participants to write back on our Twitter, on our social media channel, which topic you wanted. So in case you want me to deliver a topic which you're looking for, ball goes in your platform, so in your court, write back on social media. Zoho team will pick up that topic and will assign the topic for the delivery. So it's all what hers want me to deliver. It's not like I'm suggesting. So you write back whatever topic you're willing to, and I would be happy to deliver that topic to all the participants. But before I say goodbye today, my God bless all of us together. Take care of yourself, take care of your health, and of course, do your best. Do good, good will come back. There's a tagline. Go back and write down on a piece of paper and put it in front of you. Do good, good will come back. So try to do good. That is at most walk the talk. Thank you very much. Handing over to hers.
Thank you so much. In short, whatever sir has said, I personally follow. Do good and good will happen to you. So I can vouch for it. And do not worry, this video will be available, will be sent to your email address and will be available on Zoho Books channel as well. So not an issue. We'll be meeting with each other, and the effervescent smile of sir and humility will be there with us next month onwards. So stay tuned for many more updates. Sir might be coming to Lucknow with Zoho Books, but we'll confirm the date soon. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.